Hello and welcome back to another episode of Risk 2, where we will be continuing on in our tournament. If you joined us last time, you would be aware that we won our first tournament and in the process wiped out a player and had the most troops, so we managed a score of 200, which is actually pretty decent. So without further ado, let's get straight back into it. This time there's only 2 AI players as opposed to the third one, which of course makes it all that much harder considering everyone has more territories. It's probably next to impossible to wipe a player out, unless in the way that the AI is, I imagine, programmed whereby I couldn't talk to Bard, for example, to pick on Red and then wipe him out. So I don't think we'll be picking up the 20 bonus points there, although we still might get the extra 30 for having the most troops. If we look at all the settings, it's still a 60% domination, which is 25 territories. It's our territories are randomly dealt to us again, but the main difference this time being we get to choose our own fortifications. And what I mean by that is we get to deploy our own troops at the start of the game. If you remember, in the last round everything was predetermined, whereby this time we get to choose which territories we wanted to back up and which ones we want to leave a bit weaker. Before I jump in, I will say this: this tournament this round is notoriously difficult to win. I'm not even actually sure if I'll be able to do it. In all the tournaments I've played in the past, I'd say I have about 50-50% in getting past round 2, which is interesting because the next few rounds after this I have no problems with. I'm not sure if it's just I lack a strategy or I suck or what it is, but just pre-warning, we may not win this. But with that being said, let's jump straight in. And we're actually a bit all over the place. So let's go for South America, shall we? Maybe a bit of Europe too. Maybe North America. And as you can see here, no matter where I put my troops, the AI seem to have more. I still say we put the 4 here and take out this before green can cause us any damage, and with any luck we'll get some decent dice rolls, although that's slightly better. Hopefully take out red too, and indeed we do. We'll have to decide where to put that extra troop. How does red have so many and we don't? Unbelievable. Look, 11, 16, bloody 20, far out. Where did it, unbelievable. Even green, look, 12, bloody 17. Where's all our fudging troops? I guess we'll have to end it there, I suppose. And I suppose we'll back up Brazil for now. See what red does. Goes for green first off, which we have no qualms with. Very interesting. Red's having a bit of, at least in Southern Europe, having a bit of bad luck there. Makes our job all the much easier though. Ooh. Obviously, like I always say, this game is famous for dodgy dice rolls. How does an army of 8 take on an army of 5 and not lose a single troop? I don't know. Hopefully as defender we'll win this. But with rolls like that, although that's slightly better, I'll gladly take that. Interesting that they'd keep 6 in Greenland. I'm not sure I understand that. Of course, we had no intentions of holding South Africa. And in fact, it'll be our turn in a minute. And I like to think we held on pretty well there. Hopefully we take 1, and indeed we do. 2's even better. Can't complain with that. Green obviously has it in for us. But we won't go down without a fight, which is always nice to see. Once again, they lose 2 for one of ours. So we get 6. And the question becomes, do we push for Europe? Or do we have a dig at Africa over here? Obviously green's relatively weak. And I feel that might be what we do. Don't let them build up too much. And with any luck they'll continue to roll 1s and make our job all that much easier. Now again, like I said, it's fairly difficult to completely wipe out a player in 3-person risk, although green is in a bit of trouble at the moment. Almost to the point where I might call that good enough and do something like that. Indeed, red takes care of green over here for us, which is, or almost anyway. Having not very much luck with his dice rolls. And it is actually in our best interests for red to take New Guinea. So fingers crossed. And he does not. We'll see what green does. Takes the easy target, which I don't mind at all. And it's our turn once again already. Now again, we can pick on a green a bit, but we don't want got 4 in Alberta. I think that's what we do. We take this. Oh, actually, that will open up Greenland. We'll take Ontario instead. again. We don't want green getting too strong, so we'll take out these strongholds. We don't want to make him so weak that red comes along and it beats up on him. But I think we can safely do this. I think with any luck we'll win this, and we do. And hope that the 4 in North Africa is enough to take Egypt. And indeed it is, quite comfortably actually. Move him up there and call that good enough. Very good that Reds made that very easy for us. On our next turn we will be... Oh, turns out we opened it up anyway, but we were lucky enough. Of course we did. I'm just an idiot, don't mind me. Unlucky to lose at that engagement, although inconsequential in the long run. Hopefully green expends... Oh, goes for me. In fact, I should check. I have 20, which means by wiping out 1, 2, still have 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So we're going to wipe out green and win at the game in one fell swoop, which is quite a nice way to do it, if you ask me. Maybe 7's a bit overkill, but like I always say, you cannot trust the dice rolls in this game. So obviously we advance, take Scandinavia, hopefully, and indeed we do. Obviously it doesn't matter what we do at this point, assuming we win at these battles. Now this is where it gets tricky. Go for these ones first. So do we go 2 on 2? I put 5 here and go through the 3. I think we're going to have to try and go 2 on 2. Very risky play. Hopefully it pays off, and indeed it does. Beautiful. So again we have a victory. We killed Bard, did have the most troops. So very surprising actually. That was a lot easier than I thought it would be. Another 200 points, which is nice to see. If we look here, we did hold the most territories per average, and of course that goes hand in hand with having the most troops. We made the average kills. Again, not the most casualties, which I like. Reinforcements were quite high. In fact, we're getting almost more than 2 more than next strongest. Did Bard not hold? I suppose it counts at the start of your turn how many you hold, as opposed to because I'm sure Bard had Africa at one point. We did have the largest connected empire, which is nice to see, and obviously, as you would expect, we made the most attacks. Well, that was another successful tournament round. We're on 400 points, which is pretty good for only 2 rounds. If we look at the score, it took Campbell to round 6 just to get to 400. But I am obviously not, because we've got 4 here. It's based on points. If we win another round, we'll jump straight onto the leaderboard. And we're still looking at this Wellington score of 2400. Although at this stage we're looking good. But then again, it depends if you trust me enough to win at these harder rounds. But that's all for the future, so join me next time when we jump into round 3 and hopefully win ourselves another battle. And until then, I've been your host, TK421. Please join us next time.